So, Vigilantes is officially out, and when it comes to this chapter, it's a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of dialogue. But the ending, though, yeah, we're getting right to the end of Vigilantes, and this may be the start of it. So, before we get more into it, let's hit that intro. Hit it. Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Big Blue Drew 97 here, coming at you with another My Hero Academia Vigilantes Manga Chapter 98 titled Irrational. And when it comes to this chapter of My Hero Academia Vigilantes, we are continuing from the last chapter where we saw that Koichi was being confronted by a lot of pro heroes. They were trying to get him to come with them to like turn himself in, but unfortunately Koichi couldn't do that, and the last person that he had to face when it comes to him trying to escape is none other than Eraserhead himself. So we're going to get the continuation of that. But before we get more into the actual review, I'd like to ask you, the viewer, if you haven't done so, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Big Blue Drew 97. If you like this type of content, I talk about My Hero, Vigilantes, Dr. Stone, all that good stuff. And if that's the type of content that you like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We just hit 600 subscribers. Can't wait for that 1,000 subscriber milestone, so maybe you can help me get to that point by subscribing. And without the way, let's get right into the review. So we start the chapter off the same way we ended the last chapter, with Koichi, the Crawler, versus Aizawa, the Eraserhead, as they're just having a normal conversation. Koichi's like, oh, hey, Eraserhead, it's been a while, hasn't it? And he's like, Crawler. It's like, yeah, it's very good to see you, but, I gotta get out of here, got things to do, places to be, and, Aizawa isn't having it. He's like, no, you're gonna listen. You need to come closer? Oh, you're not gonna come closer? Alright, yeah, we need to talk now. And he basically talks, and this is where you have Aizawa, who's basically saying, these other heroes, Ingenium, Headshot, Best Genius, like, they want to help you, right? You understand that, right? They're on your side. And Koichi's like, I'm really thankful about this. He's like, no, you're not understanding. We want to help you, kid. Like, they really want to help you. They know that you're like the Sky Egg kid and that you're popular between them. They actually want to help you. And Koichi's like, oh, well, yeah, thanks. But he's like, but it's irrational. And he basically tells Koichi's like, you're the type of person that doesn't stop until something bad happens to you. So, they're trying to be like soft with you. I'm going to really take you in because I understand that you can be really threatening. And then you have Koichi's like, oh, that's good. Bye. He tries to use his slide and glide quirk. Slide and go is someone totally different, but he tries to use his quirk. But unfortunately, he's going up against Eraserhead, who is able to nullify his quirk. But luckily enough, the Crawler, Koichi, is adept in a new form of martial arts. Running away. Yeah, literally running away. He is caught off guard by Aizawa's quirk eraser, but because he's been training in the way of being like a quirkless fighter in the same vein as Knuckle Duster, he's able to get himself out of the situation fairly quickly by running away. He runs into some nearby bystanders as Aizawa tries to chase him, as the bystanders are like, oh, whoa, Crawler, Curler, what are you doing? Why are you running? That's weird. Oh, he's being chased by a hero? Huh, that's weird. Oh, what? Hey, dark, shadowy, evil-looking figure? Wow, there are a lot of weirdos on the street. Yeah, they come back. Yeah, the black figures. Yeah, they're not suspicious at all. Not in the slightest. It's not like they're associated with a particular villain by any chance. No, no whatsoever. They're just normal citizens just walking around in trench coats. And they're possibly naked. And they're blacker than shadows. Nothing to worry about in the slightest. Don't be afraid. So yeah, we have Koichi, who remembers a time with the older brothers who told him about Aizawa's quirk eraser, and now he's realizing, okay, I have to like get out of this situation. I have to stay out of his like line of sight, and the best way to do that is to go alley to alley. My quirk is back. Okay, I just need to focus going alley to alley to Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? So yeah, Aizawa catches Koichi, and Koichi just realizes, I've been cut off. Oh no, I forgot. He used to be a hero around this area. All of my shortcuts aren't gonna work anymore. So once again, Aizawa erases Koichi's quirk. But luckily enough, like I said, Koichi is very versed in running away because he also pulls out Master's grappling hook. Wow, that came back in handy. Thanks, Knuckle Duster. You will be missed. We have your little grappler, and now Koichi can get away. And at this moment, you have Aizawa. He's like, huh, he's done it twice. Like, I've switched his quirk off twice, and yet he didn't hesitate to find another way to run away. Yeah, no, this isn't normal keep away. Yeah, this guy, yeah, he's a customer, all right? He's a tough customer. And you know what? Yeah, because Koichi was basically trained by Knuckle Duster, who was someone who had a quirk, but then it was stolen. So he had to do all of this superhero antics without a quirk. So Koichi kind of picked up on that. So instead of him just being a normal villain or a normal person that solely relies on their quirk, he's a normal hero, like a normal vigilante that doesn't necessarily need to rely on his quirk. So Aizawa is just having a hard time trying to catch him. And this leads into something very interesting, hopefully later on. So we cut from Aizawa chasing the crawler. He's trying to catch him. He's trying to capture them, as well as the other heroes trying to capture him. And we immediately cut over to Midnight and Tsukachi. Basically still waiting at the hospital with wrapped in Moiru with all the police officers, as we get Midnight getting a call from a particular individual asking for the flat foot, which is, you know, Soga asking for Tsukachi. And from here, we just get like this quick like conversation between them about how Soga's like, yeah, I didn't really want to run. I just wanted Koichi to escape. I was gonna stay, but y'all had heroes coming after them. So, you know, I had to like leave. And then Tsukachi's like, okay, yeah, you need to tell him to turn himself in. And Soga's like, no. What I want you to do is to call off the heroes, so that we can work together, because if we don't work together, something bad is going to happen. And Tsukachi's like, no, that's not going to happen. He's like, and I mean, that's basically the conversation. One side wants the pro heroes to stop catching the crawler, while the other side is like, he's literally a villain. We cannot do that. So they're really divided on this, which sucks because they have pretty much the same goal, to protect Popstep and Koichi. They're just going around it in different ways, but one wants to do it specifically and personally, while the other one is just filled with bureaucracy. So unfortunately, with these like conflicts, they're unable to work together, and unfortunately that leads to something horrible going on in this chapter. Tsukachi can't work with Soga because Soga won't turn the crawler in, and Soga can't work with Tsukachi because he doesn't want the crawler to be caught, and he wants to do things like not by the books. He wants them to work together, but that they should put more effort into it. And this leads to most likely the third part of this conversation, because basically what Soga says is like, where you have Soga who's basically saying that, yo, if we keep doing this, we're playing into the enemy's hands. We're literally at each other's throats right now. This is exactly what they want. As we cut over to number 6 saying, yep, you're correct. So now we're cutting to the final few pages of the chapter, where we have number 6 basically confirming what Soga's suspicions are, that he purposely did everything to try and get both the pro heroes and Soga's team, the cops and the heroes and the vigilantes, on differing sides so that they could come into conflict, so that his real plan could come into fruition. And this is basically confirmed by this spirit-like entity of O'Clock, which I still don't know who this is. I still think that he's hallucinating, because I have no idea why O'Clock inside number 6 would be basically saying, you know, it's teamwork is important. Breaking them up is very good. And with so many top heroes in Narita, yeah, this is a perfect place to like do some test driving on your new powers. As number 6 is like, yes, I need to demonstrate my new powers. As you wish, master. He's crazy. This cannot be O'Clock. I still want to know what is going on. But yeah, number 6, he is crazy. He's causing a big ruckus in Narita right now. So number 6 enacts his plan. A big old lightning bolt shoots out of his forehead and activates these black hooded figures, as we see that some of them are wearing trench coats. I'm pretty sure they're naked. Some of them are wearing normal hoodies and like sweaters. I don't know why. All I know is that they're terrifying and that they have the same scar on his face as number 6, as we have narration saying that this is what kicked off the Crawler's final battle, and that once this is all over, they came up with a name for the events of this day, and the name is Nightmare Night, the Narita Lockdown. Bum bum. End of chapter. So yeah, relatively speaking, this was a short chapter, and by short, I mean not a whole lot really happened. A lot happened that pushed the story forward, but overall, not a whole lot of like real impact. We got to get a cool conversation between Koichi the Crawler and Aizawa. That was really cool. The conversation was very cool, but all it really did was like continue down the path of Koichi trying to escape, which is the same thing that we saw last chapter. We get to see Soga as well as the officer, the detective, Takachi, having a conversation once again and showing that they are at odds once again, which is something that we've already seen in prior chapters. Elaborated more of like, oh yeah, we need to stop like with the pro heroes. I want to help y'all, but we can't work together unless like you decide to work by my terms. So they're still at odds with each other, which is something that we've already known. Like they're still working to the same goal. They're just doing it in different ways. So there's nothing really relatively new about this chapter, even when it comes to like the idea of like irrational. With the title chapter, that may be something that'll come up later on in the story, but didn't really play like a real like impactful role in this chapter. It's just something that Aizawa said about Koichi, which is like relatively true. Like when something horribly goes bad, yeah, he's the type of person that like will eventually reflect on it, but luckily for him, nothing horrible has really happened up until this moment. So yeah, the only like real thing that really happened was the end of this chapter, where we got number 6 enacting his plan and him talking about how like his goal was to break up like the trust and the wanting to work with each other between the pro heroes and the officers and Soga's group, the Vigilantes. So this was all a part of his plan, which would explain like why he specifically went to the police office to specifically do what he did and make it go explosion. But this is probably going to be the chapter that is leading into the final battle. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is the chapter that is leading into the final battle, as towards the end of this chapter, we basically get the confirmation that this is where the Crawler's last battle like takes place, and the name of what this event would eventually become. So yeah, if anything, probably next chapter, which is coming out April 9th, is probably going to be a more impactful chapter, where the plot is probably going to progress a lot more in that chapter in comparison to this, because a lot of what happened in this chapter, we've basically seen it before in other chapters. It was just specifically set up. Nothing really new was introduced. It's something that we've already seen before. It was just solely set up, and that's a little bit disappointing to me. It still wasn't a bad chapter, but I can't say definitively that was a really good or amazing chapter. I would say it was just average, only because it was just setting up for what's to come, either next chapter or in the next few chapters. So yeah, these are my thoughts on My Hero Academia Vigilantes. What did you think of this chapter? Do you think that they were good? Do you think that it was interesting? Me personally, I still think that these ideas are interesting. It's just that they've been done like within the past few chapters, and it's just repeating stuff that we already know. So I wanted maybe something a little bit more from it. We kind of got something new with Aizawa, but I just wanted like a little bit more depth of it. So what did you think? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a like on this video if you liked it. Disliked it if you did. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do all of that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye.